right, you are listening to now 411 Sports Talk Radio on 411radio.net. I am the bench woman sitting here with my co-heart over here, the professor. What's going on, sir?
All is well. How's it going, man?
All is well. It's ending well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got a lot to get into today. I mean, I don't know where you start. You start with the non-decision.
I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, because
a lot has happened since we was last on air.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to or our condolences go out to the victims of Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, that has happened.
Yeah, we've got my son is down. We got a son down there now who's in Beaumont with no water.
No water.
No water. They have no running water. They got a bunch of bottles, and then, my daughter, she's in Houston, but where she was. They didn't get affected by the flood. They get affected by the food and everything, but not the flood.
Okay, that's good.
So she's doing good. We're just kind of sitting there holding with bated breath about Cedric and see what he's gonna do. We talk to him every day, so he's in good spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in good spirits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And then you got Hurricane Irma that's coming right behind Hurricane Harvey, but it's told that it's just gonna hit that Florida.
Which I heard is going to be a Category 5, which is worse than Hurricane Harvey.
Right, but I saw that it would by the time we got to Florida, it would already dossled down to a Category 4 because of the mountains that are in the I think Cuba or something like that. Those mountains kind of
slowing down.
Yeah, weakens it a little bit.
Okay.
So we're just praying for that there. So that is your weather news.
All right.
How was your day? How's your weekend?
Weekend has been great. It has been hot. And all is well. Family's doing good.
Good.
Yeah, all is well.
Yeah, we wound up going out. My dad, we went to go play some golf with him. Don't ask me how I did. I'm still riding the bench.
Still riding the bench.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. He's still taking you to school.
Still taking me to school. He keeps saying it. He said, "I'm going to be on hospice before you beat me." The way it's looking now, he might be right, but I'm not gonna let him know that he's right.
Yeah.
So we got that going.
You gotta figure that out, man.
I know.
You can't let him keep stalking
I gotta keep going out there though.
Oh my goodness.
Keep playing. If I keep playing, then I might be okay.
And this is your dad, so.
But he's good though.
He's good. Huh?
Yeah. So that's kind of what happened this weekend.
Okay.
And then rest of a lot of rest.
A lot of rest.
A lot of rest. So let's get some particulars out of the way before we get into this.
A lot of particulars.
So the first particular, the all-white party.
Oh yeah.
This Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's Park Place, Benz, right?
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
In Arlington. Mercedes-Benz Park Place.
Yeah, we're going out to watch Kansas City play the New England Patriots.
Right.
Sponsored by Dante and his people, so we should appreciate Dante bringing us out for that event. I look forward to it. You'll be there, right?
I will definitely be there. I missed it last year, but this year I have every intention to go along with my wife there.
Okay, yeah. It was a good event though.
It's an all-white game night.
Yeah, it's all white. I'm not coming in off-white. I'm not gonna come in blue or red or green. I'm gonna have all white on.
I got a little my fix out.
Okay.
A little fix.
Yeah, okay. So
I'll be laid, but I won't be all tight with white. I'll be loose with white.
Okay. Okay. It was, like I said,
I'm be comfortable.
Yeah, be comfortable. Be out there, be comfortable. Have a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yes, sir.
And then Sunday is our tailgates. Our tailgating.
Oh, okay.
The tailgate is this Sunday. We'll be tailgating the Cowboys versus the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be out there tailgating, and we're going to also broadcast live.
Oh, okay.
During the tailgate. So that's 7 o'clock, but we'll probably be out there way before then, just kind of getting everything set up. But we're going to broadcast live out to the tailgate.
I just imagine the number of people that's going to be out there. It's going to be lit.
Yeah, it was packed the last time, right?
Yeah.
It's always packed, isn't it?
And then you have an NFC East rival on top of that.
Right. The Giants. We got to get into that. Are we going to see Odell Beckham? Are we going to see?
We're going to see him. I mean, there's no argument.
Yeah.
We're going to see him. Man, come on now.
But
he is not missing this game.
He will play. All right. And then so we've got those two coming up. And then, seeing as though we're just going to go ahead and dive into this,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of stuff that has come out about this whole Ezekiel Elliott thing.
It's gotten real
It's gotten
messy.
It's got not real messy, a complete mess.
Yes, it has.
I mean, this thing's like, what the heck is going on here?
Yes.
You know, so I don't understand how the NFL could botch this thing up so bad. I mean, this is tomfoolery on a whole nother level.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel relevant to the fact I really do think Goodell forced this. I'm not going to use force. He laid this 6-game suspension on Zeke just to make himself look good.
Yeah.
To me, because, I mean, there are still witnesses out there that they have clearly said Zeke did not do what he's been accused of. And now Zeke's side of the story is really coming out. And now you got Harold Henderson having to make a decision on what's the best course of action for Zeke, which I think personally his suspension will be reduced.
Yeah, I would think
I mean, did Zeke do all this that he's been accused of? For me personally, I don't think he has.
I say if you didn't do it, why would you still be suspended? If you didn't do all that was put on the table, because clearly there are reports that even the medical report that came out,
Mm-hmm.
the medical report comes out saying there's no way we can tell when these bruises happened.
Right,
And that came out today.
And then Zeke said, paraphrasing here, that Tiffany bruised real easily based upon her frame, not
And you
her
can see
skin
that.
color. She bruises real easily, and
You can
a
see
person
that.
bruises real easily. You don't have to hit them. If she perfectly hit
falls,
herself,
she-
she's gonna
yeah.
bruise easily.
Well,
I mean,
the other thing is, now remember, we actually had the timestamp. The timestamp that she sent those pictures in was on the 25th,
mhm,
after the officers took their pictures.
mhm.
So there's a report. There's another doctor that first lied on the stands, saying that he was with Tiffany.
Uh-huh.
But then come to find out, a lady comes up and says, no, you were with me that whole day.
Wow.
So
wow,
he's
wow.
up there lying on the stands about this whole situation.
It just don't look good at all.
It doesn't. And so how do you uphold a suspension that should not necessarily be there?
You know, there are still, sayings out there as if law enforcement dropped the charges, why is the NFL carrying out something totally opposite of what law enforcement had proceeded to be? And then you have Kia Roberts,
I asked the same question.
who was the person that interviewed Tiffany not once, not twice, I've had
She's the
several
only one, and she's the only one to interview her.
several conversations with Tiffany Thompson. She came to the conclusion she didn't think that Zeke should be suspended. But why did Roger Goodell not meet with the woman?
Right.
You know,
Well,
it just don't look good.
the question is, why didn't Roger Goodell even get himself involved into the investigation? All he did was he took recommendations from 4 people that was investigating.
Mm-hmm.
He did not allow Kyle Roberts. He did not allow her. Her testimony wasn't even looked at, or her recommendation wasn't even on the table. And she's the one who interviewed Tiffany.
And that's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's just wrong. And that's why I came to my conclusion, I think, to my personal opinion, that Roger Goodell laid down a law on Zeke based upon, this is quote unquote his makeup from previous suspensions he didn't get right. Why would you omit the main person who interviewed Tiffany several times, omit their testimony? It makes no sense at all.
Whatsoever.
That makes no sense.
That's the only person
She recommended that Zeke does not get suspended.
That's the only
They
person.
really?
And I think a lot of it is because of his debauchery previously.
Right.
You know, the Ray Rice situation, even the Josh Brown last year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I have to say this: Josh Brown is where in New York, right?
Right.
Most of the people that we're interviewing were New York, Philadelphia, or Washington in that same territory.
Right.
Most of the investigators were within that same territory. Influence, right? And Goodell is right there. And
Right.
then you bring and I just hope that Harold Henderson looks at this situation the same way he looked at Greg Carter's situation.
Mm-hmm.
He said Greg Carter was suspended. It's too many games.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope he has that same mindset to say, okay, well, I don't see anywhere that that Ezekiel Elliott did anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing on the table that says he's done anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point of Ezekiel Elliott was on the stand. He said he wanted to testify. He wanted to testify under oath.
Right.
So the fact that he put it in, no, I want to testify under oath. And the question that he were asking was, I mean, they was like, okay, well, do you like to get drunk? He said, yeah, I like to get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have, do you do drugs? He said, I did in college.
Mm-hmm.
And it was recreational drug, weed or whatever here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very truthful from the standpoint that we can see.
Right.
Now we wasn't there, we didn't, but he seemed like he was very truthful,
Right.
in his comments.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was being very honest, and I'm like, okay, stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Now the other thing is that he's got his team of lawyers, and the Cowboys got their team of lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
and the NFL Players Association got their team of lawyers. With all that, how does he get? I still don't understand. How do you still get suspended if suspension? And Harold Henderson is not. I don't think he wants to say anything because I think deep down inside, man, I got to come out against the NFL.
It is what it is.
He should have, because if he was going to come out and say the suspension is upheld, wouldn't you do that right now?
Right.
Why wait? And
I think based upon the testimony that he saw here recently himself, will be indicative of the fact, okay, let me sit down and think about this. Is this case really appropriate?
Right.
You have to take into consideration what the police ended up saying at the end of the day. It's not like the man with the prison or there behind this. They didn't arrest him for this. They dropped the charges. I still don't find out how the NFL will say, well, we have substantial evidence to prove that he laid hands on Teflon Thompson, but law enforcement let him go.
And then not only that, they say they have evidence, but now the evidence coming out that they really didn't have evidence. You've got evidence, and your evidence, the basis of your evidence are these pictures. These photographs, they say, yes, we talked to a doctor who can substantiate when these pictures were taken. It was taken around the time that Ezekiel Elliott was putting his hands on her. And then you get another doctor who says, no, you can't tell that. Ain't no anywhere you can tell when these pictures were taken.
And then the one little piece that I just learned recently that just blew my mind is when Ezekiel Elliott admitted via his testimony that Teflon Thompson slept with Lucky Whitehead.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean... Ladies
and gentlemen,
that's like LeBron James' mom and
yeah, I forgot our boy name.
Right.
Delonte West.
Yeah, Delonte West. Yeah. That's like him sleeping with LeBron James.
Yeah, that's some bad business. Somebody told me there's always one person on the team where if this other person, this dude, see that you into it with your girl, he gonna slip on right in there and get in where he get in where he fit in. Right. I'm like, I mean, you got that kind of people on your.
I'm like, how do you fathom that though? I mean, and she's saying, I mean, some of her comments, she's talking about, I'm a white woman and you're a black athlete. They gonna believe me over there before they believe you. And then I'm going to get with Lucky Whitehead to make you jealous or something like that. I mean, that's venom. That's
now we know why Jason Garrett decided. Jason Garrett, how do you say it? He said, how did he say that? He said it repeatedly, but I have to think about it. He said something to the fact, we thought we did what was best. I cannot say it. It'll come to me. But I replayed that same statement over and over. I'm like, what do he mean by that? And then Garrett ended up saying in their presser a few weeks back, they know a lot more about their players than we do,
and that's
they're
true.
not going to release that.
right, and that's true.
He said we did what was in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys,
and I'm like, and the best interest,
and that is the best
get
interest.
Get rid of Lucky Whitehead.
Not only get rid of them, don't rescind back based upon what we all thought why you let him go because of what happened in Virginia, which turned out to be somebody stealing his identity.
Right.
But it was more to it than that. I was wondering, I'm like, well, if that wasn't Lucky Whitehead,
why did you run back?
Why didn't you rescind the offer? Now we know why.
But the other two,
they've been doing this.
Oh yeah, but the other thing too, remember the kidnapped dog. See, so
The
Whitehead,
dog ransom.
yeah. So Whitehead had some things on him that they already knew
The
about,
dog ransom.
and they said, you know what, we can't have this on our team. We're trying to get somewhere, and we can't have that type of distraction on our team.
He said, we thought we made a decision that was in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys. And I swear,
And he did.
that ain't nothing but the truth. Now I could see the light. I swear, I said, I would have never thought in my mind I would even hear
In
that.
100 million years, yeah.
Never. I'm like, no
Yeah.
wonder.
So they know all about. They've been knowing all about the girl and everything. I mean, they probably know a lot more than what's put out there now.
So basically, Ezekiel Elliott sat on the stand and spilling out some stuff that probably the staff was like, this is in-house stuff. Don't let this
Keep
stuff get
in-house,
out.
yeah.
You know, we're in the middle of the season. Hey, let's not put
push
that
it
out
out,
there.
Even to the point of they talk about the St. Patrick's Day event. He said, "Hey, I think it was cool because we wound up sleeping together anyway that night."
Now, that's the one thing I can say I can see the NFL saying you violated personal conduct policy. I mean, you're a professional athlete. Even though that's your girl, that's not your wife, but still, I mean, you represent the NFL. You're a professional athlete. You flip a shirt up for everybody to see. TMZ was right there on the spot.
Right. Okay,
you know they're going to sell
hanging out,
and
TMZ hanging out with him. But to the point of a game suspension, because remember, if we want to do that, we want to go with Josh Brown the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brown only got 1 game suspension. He admitted to hitting on his wife and abusing her mentally and physically. All you do with Zeke in that situation is take some money from him.
Right.
I'm gonna fine you $200,000 or $300,000 or whatever you want to fine him.
Right.
You know, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with that.
Right.
And they're trying to put them, and the fact that they're trying to put these two together is another thing.
True.
You know, they're trying to make a case, make this big case against Zeke, and it's like when it's all said and done, it's really not a case.
It's not the case to me at all.
So for him to, and that's why, and look at the posturing that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke is doing what Tom Brady did last year.
Right.
If you uphold my suspension, I'm going to get an injunction to push it back because I'm taking it to court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the NFL didn't do with Tom Brady is they didn't go back and file an injunction against they didn't file an injunction against Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
They let him go ahead and go through, let him play the whole year, and then the court date comes up the next. This right here, they said no, we're filing an injunction so he can't get out of suspension. I mean, come on now.
Oh man.
They're trying to make it to where now we're gonna, what do they call it? They call it restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to restrain the suspension if there is a suspension. And the NFL comes back and say, no, don't let the suspension go
What's
through.
going on right now, Sherman?
And it's good they got it here. They filed it here because they had it not filed it here, he'd have to go up to New York.
Per local reports, we know, at least for sure, what we heard an hour ago, Zeke will play against the New York Giants Sunday night, week 1, at least. We don't know about week 2 through 16, but we know for a fact he will be there Sunday night.
NFL took
for
that.
sure.
NFL took that back too because it's supposed to be a 3:00 deadline.
Yeah, and I heard that story.
They took back the 3:00
there
deadline.
was like there's no such
deadline.
thing as that.
They're saying that they can suspend them all up to Saturday.
What I found out was it wasn't based upon that, but it was based upon the fact if a decision was not made by 3 p.m., Ezekiel Elliott will get paid.
Yes, he will get paid. So
he will get paid,
right?
At least for week 1.
Mm-hmm. Now he can still be suspended that Saturday and not play that Sunday.
And normally in a 6-game suspension, it's mainly without pay, right?
Yeah, it is without pay.
So
6-game suspension is without pay.
Now we also know he's going to get paid.
So he's going to get paid. He might not be. They may suspend him. And even if they say, okay, he still has an opportunity to, if the courts hold up and they say we can do this restraining order, then he still can play.
Mm-hmm.
My bet is I'm banking on him being able to play Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been practicing. What's so crazy about it is you're not hearing a lot about, you know, all this pressure that's come on Ezekiel right now. He's not acting like a child right now with all this pressure on, because he's got a lot of pressure on him.
Oh,
he is not out there acting like a child, like, oh my God, I'm going to go do something different. I'm going to go do something crazy. You know, he's saying, you know, and Jason Garrett said this too. He said, you know, he's being extremely professional about this whole situation, even though he's got a lot of pressure on him. He said he's practicing good. He's practicing with everybody else, and so the whole team's rallied behind him. A man that's got that's that much out of control, this will break him.
Right.
All this that's going on will break him.
So, what is your opinion on the stuff that Zeke mentioned in court, with him using drugs and him, for lack of a better term,
getting his groove on.
real hard with her, and all this other stuff. I mean, what are your thoughts on that stuff? The Lucky Whitehead situation.
See, Lucky Whitehead situation. Let me deal with that separately. But the stuff he did in college. How many people have been to college and just really just went buck wild in college?
A lot of people. I said over 50% of the population.
I said over 75%.
Yeah.
You get to college.
I'm just being safe.
Yeah. I'm saying you get to college and you just kind of get out there.
Right.
He did the same thing that other people would have done in college. So for us to sit here and act like we're goody two shoes, like we're holier than thou, like we're just so pristine and they never went to that. How many fans out there went to PV? If you've been to PV, you can't say nothing.
True.
Any HBCU college, what do?
Yeah.
They get out. And
he said he liked the party.
And he's being honest about it.
He's still saying I like the party.
Yeah. He's being honest about it.
Yeah.
And you can't hurt. You cannot be mad because he's saying I'm being honest.
I mean, he's still a young man. I mean, if that's in him, I think he just needs to be careful of his surroundings and be careful of the people he chooses to be around him.
Well, yeah, but here's the deal.
And that's including relationships moving forward.
Well, he stopped that relationship.
I'm talking about moving forward.
Yeah, moving forward. Yeah. But here's the deal. You never know a person until you really start dealing with them.
Right.
I mean, did he know how crazy she was while he was dealing with her?
I don't think so.
No, based off of that weekend from Alvarez Jackson, there was no sign that said she's gonna mess up his career. None whatsoever, because they were hanging out together. There was no sign that said that she's trying to mess up his career.
Which is why and that's not that I kept saying. I think when Zeke decided he won't go move forward with Tiffany, she got upset. She saw dollar signs that she thought she was going to get.
She saw NFL.
And it was going away, and she got mad.
And you got mad and cut it off.
And became vindictive. So, I mean, and it's just a lot, yeah.
And so here's what normally happens now. You get this going on, and then other things that he's been like we always go back to. I'm not going to do the St. Patrick's Day parade. I'm going to go to he was in the car, got into a car accident. He was not driving. We're going to put that on his record,
right?
Even though he's not driving.
Right.
Okay, so you see him at a boat with women that are dressed. I mean, they got on bikinis on. We on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing it. Didn't have a drink in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
But then we want to use that as, oh my God, look what he's doing. You start looking for different things to say, look
for
at
trouble.
Right.
Look for something to talk about.
Right. Or even when he's at what's the name of the club?
Off of Oakland.
Yeah. When you're at that club and somebody gets hit, they put it on you.
Yeah.
Sometimes situations you didn't know it was going to happen. You didn't go there waiting for a fight to happen.
Okay, but let me ask you this: in dealing with or talking about Ezekiel Elliott and by him being a black man, do you think, and I'm not trying to put race in this, I'm just saying, do you think what's going on with his skin color and with him being a professional athlete, do you think he's a target?
Well,
based on the comments you just made about looking for trouble, when you started talking about that, that's what made me think about, okay,
is it a target?
I don't want to say is the average black athlete a target for society to get that person in the trouble he doesn't deserve to be in. However, with this situation where it's panning out, the nastier you get, the more stuff we find out. I mean,
well, see, the question is,
who's
targeting him? See, it's the who.
Is it I don't say general population because everybody loves Zeke.
Yeah, but everybody loves Zeke. But if you let's talk media. If you listen to the media pundits, everybody's thinking, "Oh, he's a bad guy." I mean,
so you're saying the majority of the media think he is a bad guy?
I think so. Man, I listen to radio, sports talk radio all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're hearing. You're hearing stuff like I heard one radio station. That matter of fact, there's a lady at the Dallas. I forget the name of that magazine, but she wrote about this whole situation. Called Zeke. This is a monster. He needs help. He's got issues.
I think I kind of glanced through that.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm like, how do you gather that from what you just saw? How can you fix yourself to say that he's a monster based off of, and everybody's looking at Tiffany as if she's.
Well, I think it's based upon a lot of Tiffany Thompson's testimony.
But she's
and they
already
took that testimony, and now you're making Ezekiel Elliott into this monster that he
that
never
she
was.
portrays him, but she's already her witness has already been uncorrect. And how can you say, yes, she lied over here, but I believe she's telling the truth? How do you do that?
Right.
I mean, if you know she's lying, why are you believing everything else she says? She didn't even chose to take her testimony under oath. She gave a voluntary testimony, wasn't an oath. So she can pretty much say what she wants to say without perjuring herself.
Do you think she should have been at these hearings?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I didn't hear it all. I need to hear from you.
Okay.
And when he said she don't need to be here, I've heard all I need to hear. All I hear is you lying again.
Well, the reason why I asked that is because after we heard about what's going on with the NFL and Kia Roberts, and I'm up here thinking, based upon her sit down, her and I keep saying numerous sit downs with Tiffany Thompson, and she came to the conclusion Ezekiel Elliott should not be suspended.
Right.
I really want to know what was said, because I'm up for saying if Tiffany did show up to these hearings, I wonder what are the chances that she would incriminate herself.
Well, number one, I don't think these hearings. See, Ezekiel Elliott volunteered to take this under oath.
Yeah, I understand.
So she doesn't have to be under oath when she's taking in these hearings. He volunteered that. She didn't have to be. So are we going to hear the same type of lies that we've been hearing from this? I don't need to hear all that anymore, because we already know. I think Carol Henderson already figured she was not credible in the first place. Now
do you believe Harold Henderson before what went down today, and Sherman made up in his mind that she's not a credible source?
I think he believed. I think he believed that the moment he took on this whole situation, based off of and based off of the things he's seen. You know, he's going to get all the investigative all the reports and everything. He's going to see all that. He's going to see remember when I did my own, reporting, I was like, oh my God, how come Alvarez Jackson is not mentioned in this thing that many times?
See, and that's what bothers me is that the Kia Roberts situation. Goodell didn't meet with her. Her observation of Tiffany Thompson was really taken into account for.
Right.
We are just not hearing about this. Alvarez Jackson, why we haven't really heard his name up until now. I mean, I was listed 3 different situations that would have
exonerate him. Don't forget about Matthew, a guy named Matthew Perry or something like that.
I forgot about him.
Well, he actually said Tiffany came over to a party at 1 o'clock in the morning, and this is one of the times when Ezekiel Elliott had hit her. He said, I observed no bruises on her.
Yeah.
She came to the party, had a good time. She Ubered home at about 3 o'clock. That was the same time Alvarez Jackson was getting at home because Ezekiel Elliott was going somewhere else. So he saw her there. They talked that night.
Right.
And she was going to leave again.
Right. He
convinced her to stay because she was not, she was incapacitated. She couldn't drink and drive.
Right.
Then she had some friends come over. They decided that she was going to leave with them. Then they decided to leave, and she stayed there. And that whole night, he said they went to sleep. Ezekiel Elliott came up the next morning. Came home the next morning. Everybody's corroborating the story without even talking to each other. I'm like, it makes no sense. Why are you still putting this man out there like that when there's really nothing there? You're grasping for straws now. And you got media that's really out there saying, that it's Ezekiel Elliott. Now we got Eric Weiss says, I don't think Zeke is a target because of skin. I think he makes himself a target because of the things he does.
I can't argue that. I mean, the man likes to party. That's why I alluded to going back to he need to be careful about the people he hang around with, and most of all, he need to choose a circle that won't put him in situations he don't belong in.
So are you saying Ezekiel Elliott?
And also, I'm being interrupted. He was still going to parties during this process.
After
my feeling is he should stay low until all this is over. But he liked to party. He's a grown man. Can't tell him what to do. However, I think as he continues to get older, he may end up
learning a lot
learning
more
about it. I've always said, if you touch the stove 3 times, you're going to eventually stop.
Yeah. Do you think this is a wake up call
For Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah.
Yes, because he realizing that what he did in college, he's not going to get away with it in the NFL. Right.
Yeah, and in college you got away with everything.
Right. And then his dad was around him a lot.
Right.
During his college, they sheltering him because his dad know what kind of
and maybe his
person
dad. Well,
he is.
remember
Not
his
saying he's
dad.
a bad son or whatever. I mean, we all know our children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
I mean,
And his dad said, you know what? If Ezekiel doesn't have that supervision, I think it's going to be hard for him.
Mm-hmm.
He actually said that before the draft. He needs that supervision, and maybe they start bringing Dad on as a counselor, a counselor for Ezekiel Elliott, so we can keep him on that right track.
so are we conveying the Des Bryant treatment when he first became an NFL player? How
Right.
somebody on the team had to quote unquote babysit him to make sure he don't get himself into trouble. Now he's not up under the umbrella no more. But when you mentioned that, I thought about Des Bryant.
Des was the same
We
way.
kind of remember his first 2 or 3 years in the league. He couldn't stay away from trouble.
And Neiman Marcus.
Yeah. So
What's going on, Martez? Appreciate you joining in with us. So, if this thing will unfold, maybe we get a decision tomorrow.
it's supposed that came down today from Sherman. From what I'm gathering, I'm not sure if they are still meeting or not. It's going on 7 o'clock. The end of business that I thought was 6.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I haven't really heard anything. But I do know this: he will be in uniform Sunday night. That is for sure. That is guaranteed. He will play Sunday night against the New York Giants.
Will he be in uniform on his couch or with the Cowboys?
No, with the Cowboys. I mean, that's a done deal. He will get paid and he will play. What happens week 2?
We don't.
We don't know, but I know that for sure. I've seen the reports that came out within the last 30 minutes. Zeke will play no matter what the decision was determined to be in Sherman today. So he will be there.
All right. Well,
and for you fantasy owners, put him on your starting lineup if you have him on the bench.
You know, I actually picked him. That draft you had was just like crappy.
Why is it crappy?
I can't even trade nobody. I ain't got nobody out to trade with. I'm trying to get my.
That's
my
why
roster.
when you draft people, you do your homework.
No. I was trying to draft from my phone and I could not draft from my phone.
Oh, you were drafting from the computer?
I wasn't here. I was at my dad's house. I was trying to draft from my phone and start picking players. I'm like, what the heck? What? This is not right. So I'm gonna have another bad year.
No, you can't say that.
No,
I mean, everybody has an even record right now, 0-0.
I'm gonna start trading folks.
You can't have that mindset.
I'm gonna start getting rid of folks.
Hey, you the willing deal. You the owner of your fantasy team.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm willing and dealing. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into.
Let's go.
All right, so every year we normally do our picks.
Ooh,
we do weekly picks.
Yeah.
And we do overall
weekly picks.
So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna start off with overall picks.
What do you mean overall?
It means okay, who your division leaders?
Okay. You took my pen from me.
Okay, I got mine down.
You keep throwing wrenches in the game.
Yeah. So your division leaders, your wild cards.
Wait a minute. Okay, so division winners.
Yeah, your division winners and who your wild cards.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to go all the way through the whole Super Bowl thing because you had Jacksonville doing a whole.
That was last year's session. This is this year. That was last year. Because I told a lot of people the Jacksonville Jaguars, other than Blake Bortles, at the wide receiver position, running back position, tight end position, on defense, they had the talent. And it's the same episode as it is this year. They continue to have quarterback problems.
Yeah, I would say, you know how important
they remind me of the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Before Deshaun Watson, who I think is going to be the real deal.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, prior to Deshaun Watson, I mean, you had Brandon Whedon, Tom Savage, and Brock Osweiler. I mean, come on, man.
And then you want to,
they got all this talent.
And this is such a just a crazy thing with Brock Osweiler. You leave Denver, sign a $72 million contract with Houston with $37 million guaranteed.
He got paid.
Then you go to the Cleveland. You can't even make their starting roster. Then you turn right back around and go to Denver.
Oh,
How does that happen?
Well, let him answer that question.
And maybe John Elway knows something we don't know.
You know, someone, I'm not going to say his name, but someone, kind of believes that John Elway is not who you thought he was in terms of evaluating quarterback talent. Brock Osweiler, Tim Tebow,
yeah,
Trevor Siemian,
Paxton
Lynch. I mean, just name out those 4 quarterbacks. That's all upon the two upon the umbrella of John Elway,
mm-hmm.
right? So,
but
I can't argue that.
But Jessica, see, this was funny to me.
Mm-hmm. Just
because you are a great quarterback or a great player does not mean you know how to teach other people to be great players. That don't mean. I mean, I hate to say it like that. Jordan was a terrible coach.
Who?
Jordan was a terrible GM.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, terrible GM. Magic Johnson, terrible. Just because you're great, and remember, we're talking about now. This ain't Bill Russell type days, or days when a coach can go from coaching to playing in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Tom Landry was a defensive back,
mm-hmm.
but then he went from defensive back to a defensive coordinator. Because
mm-hmm.
we're talking about students of the game, studiers of the game. I don't think we have players today that are students of the game, can study the game. I mean, you get a Jason Garrett, but Jason Garrett was starting. He was on the bench all his life.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't had no choice but to study the game.
Mm-hmm.
I use him and Avery Johnson in the same mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Avery Johnson spent his whole life on the bench. And then he came in, he took the Mavericks to their first finals. But if you spend your life with a notepad, you're going to learn something.
That's true.
But if you don't spend life with a notepad, you spend life on the court,
mm-hmm.
you're not going to learn. It's going to be, for me, I think I've seen it being hard for you to study every other position of the game unless you are a student of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that, some players just can't do it.
Right.
And maybe John Elway is that one of those players that just, your position, you can't evaluate.
We got some comments here. I'm sorry. Let me look at these comments here. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Robert McIntyre. He said it's because the game comes so easy to them that it's hard for them to understand why their players don't get it as easily as they did when they played.
That's a good point.
That's a great.
That's
point.
a good point. But when they played, though, you talking about the great ones? They played with heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find heart,
mm-hmm.
especially when money is getting flashed in their face.
Right.
It's hard to find that heart, and so they stop playing with that heart. It's okay. Well, I would be remiss if I said if you bring LeBron as a coach, he would be a sorry coach. Because he's not a.
Whoa.
LeBron is he's a student of what he does.
Name the last person or athlete who turned out to be a Hall of Famer and also turned out to be a Hall of Fame coach.
Wow.
You have to think on that because it's not that many, if any at all. I
thought Singletary would be a good coach, but he wound up not being a good coach.
Is Michael Singletary a victim of opportunity, or he just didn't come out to be the coach you thought he was?
Players would come out and say, no, he was a little different, And remember, though, Singletary was in that time frame when you gonna cuss out a person. And you better listen. This day, you can't cuss out a kid no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many things are different. I don't remember the last Hall of Fame player, or even great player, that became a great coach also. Art Shell was one.
Art Shell was
one Hall of Fame player.
He was a solid coach, solid player.
Very solid coach.
But more so not, it's almost like the great players don't turn out to be great VPs or coaches.
They don't, because
but the players you didn't hear of turn out to be awesome head coaches.
Exactly.
I keep thinking of Rick Carlisle for one.
Yeah.
He was a career backup for the Celtics. He turned out to be a Hall of Fame. To me, he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Don Nelson.
Don Nelson's another one.
In football, I mean,
Jason. Well, can we say Jason Garrett?
He's got a.
He's a career backup with the Cowboys and the Giants
and the Miami Dolphins, I believe.
Yes, in the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and then he came up, but he had a pedigree of coaching though, because his dad was a coach.
Yeah,
He had that pedigree. He had that pedigree of coaching.
Yeah.
So he'll turn out to be I think he'll turn out to be a really nice coach. People don't like Jason Garrett, but I think he'll turn out to be a really nice coach. Doc Rivers, Martez Turner says Doc Rivers.
That's another one.
But was Doc Rivers one that you say, oh my God, Doc Rivers on the floor, we got to figure him out? He was a decent player. Hey, I can say Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a great player, but a sorry coach.
Isaiah Thomas. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Pat Riley never became a player. He just became a coach.
Right. And got multiple championships.
Exactly.
Phil Jackson. Yeah, he was an NBA player. He wasn't really known for anything while on the court. So
now one that was Bill Russell.
Okay.
But see, he wasn't a Hall of Fame coach though. He was just a good coach. He wasn't a Hall of Fame coach. He was just a good coach. In that era. But as far as players that turned coach, I don't know any in football that were great players and then great coaches. I can't think of
I
one.
have to think. I'm pretty sure there's one out there. I just can't really think of one right off the top of my head. Well, we have named plenty in basketball.
Right. I just can't. Football it's hard to do it in football.
Wow.
Because that's learning all positions.
I'll just bring the point. Great players don't turn out to be great coaches or VPs. Players that played in the sport, NBA, NFL, that you didn't too much hear of because they were career backups or just didn't get on the field, turned out to be Hall of Fame coaches.
You know why? Because they spend their time watching film. They spend their time getting clipboard. They spend their time watching everybody else's play. So it's easy for Jason Garrett to sit back with a clipboard and see, okay, Trey, this is what he's doing. Oh, okay, there's my receiver over there. Okay, I like that play there. I go and talk to Norv Turner because Norv Turner, they taught him a lot about him being a coach. And I think he came in knowing that he was going to be a coach. So his mindset was let me put on my coach's hat. While I'm sitting on the bench, let me put on my coach's hat. Like I said, I bring up Avery Johnson. Who was a career backup.
Yeah, he had some moments.
Yeah,
with the Spurs.
Yeah, he had a couple of moments, but not like.
But not the career
not the career moments.
Kobe and MJ and Kevin Garnett had. So.
Do you expect him to come in and try to coach and be good?
He was okay.
I'm saying like a Kevin Garnett or a Kobe or a Shaq or whatever. You expect him to be even a position coach? They can't even be they can't do their own position right. Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka was a Hall of Fame player. He played with the Chicago Bears and he came into Dallas and he wound up coaching. And then he wound up winning a Super Bowl he won a Super Bowl as a player and he won a Super Bowl as a coach.
That's one right there.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
Mike Ditka.
Great players that come out to be great coaches. And that's Mike Ditka's one of them. Thank you, Martez.
Martez says Larry Bird. I don't look at Larry Bird as being a great coach.
He did become a head coach of the Pacers. He did win. He did bring his team to the playoffs. He didn't win a championship.
And he couldn't.
But I can say he was a winning basketball coach. He taught well. He didn't lose. Danny Ainge. That's an edgy one there.
I mean, but he's winning.
That's an edgy one there. One that I think will be interesting looking going forward is Jason Kidd. His first year he's in the East.
Yeah.
He's in the East.
I was gonna say
his first year with the Bucks, he
did pretty good.
I think they had a losing record. I think they were like 40-40.
Yeah, but they had
They
hadn't won 40 games. They hadn't won 40 games in almost 30 years. So,
but the bottom line is, his first year, he took the Bucks to the playoffs.
Right.
Granted, they were in the East, but still, you qualified for the playoffs. I think that's one player I think we would keep our eyes on because I think Kidd, to my surprise, but no prior head coaching experience, which shocks me.
Who, Jason Kidd?
Yes. For the Bucks to trust him enough to become a head coach with no prior head coaching experience.
Kidd was a coach on the floor.
Well,
that's the difference. He was a coach on the floor.
His nickname for me was quarterback because I swear he's a quarterback on the floor, just like Magic Johnson was. But
Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr was a role player.
But Steve Kerr was a money man with the Bulls. I mean, you only got you had. I know the Bulls only had maybe 2 or 3. You got Jordan and Pippen, and then you can throw a Horace Grant or you can throw B.J. Armstrong. But Steve Kerr was a statement. He was a money man for the Bulls. When you needed that,
Steve Kerr to me was a situational player, and when the situation presented itself, he cashed in every single time.
Yeah, he took care of business.
So
you know,
but do you call him a great all-around player?
No, I'll call him.
I mean, no,
not a great all-around. Now he won't get into the Hall of Fame because of his play on the floor. He'll get in the Hall of Fame because of this Golden State stuff.
Right.
Okay, so it's
right.
But it's hard to find those players that switch from being a great player to a great coach.
So you attribute the reason why you have the average mojo who turned out to be a Hall of Fame coach. You attribute that to the fact they were in the film room, they were studying, they were looking at players that were ahead of them in the depth chart, looking how they value their game on the floor and how they play, how they executed on the floor, and so forth.
They're doing more. They're doing more quote unquote bench warmer type stuff. You know, I sit back and I watch.
You have to throw that term
I'm gonna watch what's going on. So, wow, man, you know, if he can't cut right, or you know, like a Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant is becoming a decent route runner, but Dez Bryant, wasn't a good route runner at all.
You don't think so?
No, but you didn't look at that though. You looked at Dez Bryant would go up and catch anything.
That's true.
You know, but then he needed to start learning how to run routes.
Run routes and run precise routes.
Mm-hmm. So a bench warmer like me, I'm gonna look at that and say, yeah, you know, I told you about Melvin Gordon, remember?
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's not going Melvin
now
Gordon. Now he started.
He's doing what I expect him to do his rookie year.
Yeah, but he had that confidence.
I mean, he just fell on his face his rookie year.
Yeah, and then I remember who was that? Julius Jones. Oh, I saw how Parcells just took his confidence all the way out.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. We sit back and we watch and we study that way.
Right.
Because we know we ain't gonna never get back in there.
Right.
You know, so why am I trying to start? I ain't gonna get back in.
Yeah. I keep forgetting to look at my phone. He got them to the finals per Mortez. Robert McAtee, Bill Russell. He mentioned Bill Russell as well. So, yeah, validating your points.
Yeah, okay.
Bitch warmer.
Making some points around here. Y'all ain't gonna like my picks, but still, though.
Yeah, so, yeah, I could attest that in today's NBA and NFL, you have a lot of personnel who either didn't have a career as a player or who did, they just didn't. They didn't have a Hall of Fame career,
right? And even as a Hall of Fame player, you're not necessarily looking at other guys and what they're doing. You're at the top of your game, and what you're doing as a Hall of Fame player is you're trying to bring people to the top of your game, not necessarily understanding their game. If I'm a Jordan, I know my job is to drive and slash and get to the basket. I'm gonna win games, so I'm not necessarily watching B.J. Armstrong just kind of truck down the court. I'm not necessarily watching that. If I'm a Trapan, I'm watching my offensive line. I'm watching my receivers and everything.
Right.
But I'm not watching defense. Shoot, I'm glad I just got off the field. We scored. Wow. Let me get on the phone and talk to North Turner or something like that. I'm not watching defense. I'm thinking about the next play. Thinking about the next down. Thinking about the next series. So as a Hall of Famer, I'm not thinking about what is my defense doing.
Right.
And until they make a mistake.
Right.
Then I got to go back out and try to score again.
Right.
So
I agree.
So you don't think a lot about that. But at Jason Garrett, I'm watching both sides. I'm watching offense and I'm watching defense.
Let me ask you something real quick, just off topic. Jason Garrett, when he first coached the Cowboys, he was also over the offensive unit.
He was offensive coordinator, yeah.
Several years ago, he gave up those responsibilities to the OC. Was that a definitive move on his part?
I think that was a smart move.
Do you think he became a better head coach without being concerned about the offense or trying to run the offense?
I think he did.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. When your mindset, if you're as an offensive coordinator, that's the only thing you're thinking of is offense. What am I going to do on offense? What's the next play? Now you're going to look at the defense and see what they're playing, what they're setting up. But your mindset is on offense. So when you go, when let's say your offense scores, or let's say they don't score, let's say throw an interception, something like that. As an offensive coordinator, you're going to go back and look at different papers, the pads, and everything, and see what can we do better. As a head coach, you don't have the luxury of going back and doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you have to do is now I got to get my mindset on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what the offense is doing so I can help my defense out or help facilitate. Because an offensive coordinator and a defense coordinator, those are your play callers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all Jason does is say, okay, you know what? I think we need to pass here, or I think we need to run here. Let the offensive coordinator figure out what setup we're gonna do to get our pass or our run.
It's from the mood of the game, the pace of the game, the situation.
Right. So he's gonna lay out what I want, but now he's gonna look at the defense and say, okay, you know what? He has the opportunity now to look at both.
Mm-hmm.
When he was just an offense coordinator, you know, the Cowboys had a potent offense when he was just the offense coordinator. Wade Phillips was a coach.
Right.
You know, I mean their offense was going good except that one play in Washington. I think they just went downhill after that.
Yeah, I'm just not a firm believer in a team being successful when you got a head coach who is the offensive coordinator as well. And then when it comes to the defense, it's almost like he has nothing to do with it. We're going to let you handle that.
Yeah, and
I've never been a fan of that.
I've never been a fan of that either. That's why when Wade Phillips came here, the defense was solid, but the offense was kind of weak.
Right.
But then he left the offense to Jason Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a believer in the Jimmy Johnson mentality or those old coaches that actually ran both offense and defense. You know, you had Mike Ditka. Mm-hmm. When Mike Ditka comes in, when Buddy Ryan comes in, you know, they was on the field. There was arguments.
Right.
Because Buddy Ryan said, you don't touch my defense. Mike Ditka said, this is my team. Mm-hmm. You know, so we can go back and forth, but this is my team. Matter of fact, there's one story where Ditka tried to go into the defensive meeting, and Buddy Ryan said, you don't belong here. Mm-hmm. And Mike said, no, I do belong here. Mm-hmm. This is my team. Mm-hmm. You know, so you go back and forth. Remember when Buddy Ryan was in Houston?
Right.
And him and Kevin Galbert, he goes over and punches Kevin Galbert because his offense is just sorry.
Yeah.
You know, that head coach, and who was the head coach? I think he was for the Rams.
For the Rams?
No, he wound up being the coach of the Rams.
No, he back in the 90s?
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm about to say John Robinson.
No, it wasn't John Robinson.
It wasn't him?
No. It was the coach. It was matter of fact, Eric Dixon talked about him.
For the Rams?
No, he was coach for the Tennessee. When the Houston Texans moved to Tennessee, he was the head coach for Houston and Tennessee. He just left Tennessee, went over to the Rams, and then now I don't think he's coaching anymore. Who Eric Dixon.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. But he's one.
I can't think of his name. And they just fired him.
Yeah. He's one who watched all that stuff. So as a head coach,
was it Fisher?
Yeah.
Fisher.
Yeah, Mike Fisher. No, not Mike Fisher. I'm thinking about the reporter. Anyway, Mike, if you're listening, you got a job as head coach. No, but your coach has got to be oversee all, even the special teams.
Right.
Your coach has got to be oversee that. It's hard for a coach to do offense, don't deal with defense. Mm-hmm. You know, and then let the special teams coach take care of his people. You have no control of that team.
I think that's dysfunctional to me, if you ask me.
It is.
But hold on. Milton said Jerry Glanville.
No, Jerry Glanville was he was the.
I know he coached for the Houston Royals.
Yeah, but he wasn't the head coach at the time. When it was Buddy Ryan and Kelvin Galbert, Jerry Glanville was not the coach. He was the coach before. Because remember he went from Atlanta. I think Jerry Glanville went from Atlanta to Houston, mm-hmm. and then they let him go to Houston.
Okay.
And then I think that's when they brought in Jeff Fisher.
Okay. Robert McIntyre said they started to rely more on the running game when he gave up OC duties in reference to Jason Garrett. So when he gave up his offensive coordinator duties, they started relying on the run game more, that's pretty.
I think it was too. I was thinking it was twofold.
Well, he was OC. I mean, he was letting Romo throw it all over the place.
I think it was twofold though, because I think it was not just Scott Linehan. Who's the other offense coordinator? Because they share duties. That's the other thing.
Galen?
No. The other offense coordinator with Scott Linehan. He just
Wade
went to
Wilson?
Washington. No. He just went to Washington.
Oh, I know who you're talking
I
about.
forget
He was the O-line. He was on the O-line.
I thought that was
I forgot his name.
yeah, that started with a C or something like that. But I actually talked to
Callahan.
Callahan. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I actually talked to Tim Brown because him and Tim Brown got into it,
Mm-hmm.
and Tim Brown said that's not the offense. He's not a good offense coordinator.
Thank you, Milton. This is Jeff Fisher. I could not think of his
Jeff
first
Fisher,
name for nothing. Jeff Fisher.
He said that Tim Brown was saying Callahan is not a good offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was a couple of things happened in that whole series. Romo would always audible out of the run.
Okay.
A lot of times he audible out of the run. That's number one. Number two is you got Scott Linehan and Callahan trying to call these plays. It makes it confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Once you tell Romo, here are 3 running plays you need to do. Do not audible out of the run. Romo became a better quarterback because he started relying on his running game.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was 12-4 a couple years ago with DeMarco Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get one offense coordinator, not 2. Not you running my O-line. You're my no. He was a run coordinator. That's what Callahan was a Scott Linehan was a run coordinator.
That.
Yeah, that run coordinator and pass coordinator. What the heck? He was all over the place.
So, yeah, that was some craziness.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I'm glad they got the off. I mean, this is the first time they've kept.
And things are now running smoother.
Mm-hmm. It's the first time they've kept the
None
same.
of that nonsense that we saw over the course of during the early years of Jason Garrett's team with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but I still say that Jason Garrett wrote the ticket to get Wade Phillips out of here. I still say that, and
So you still saying he sabotaged Wade Phillips?
I think he wrote the ticket to get him out of here because
at the time Wade Phillips was the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Garrett was the offensive coordinator.
And Jason Garrett played.
And you saying Jason Garrett purposely called plays that he knew weren't going to work in that situation to get Coach Phillips fired.
Listen, number one, you're up against the Washington Redskins. All you got to do is sit on the ball, going at halftime up by 14.
Mm-hmm.
What do? You call a pass play. And you're down by your goal line. You're like you're like at the 20 or 25. You call a pass play.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And that's a pick 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Number 2 is Jason Garrett was a great. He was a great manipulator of the game at halftime. He can change up the book at the halftime because at the beginning of the season, man, they go to halftime, they change up the offense, and the offense just takes off. So he was great. He was great at halftime. What do you call it? Halftime development? Adjustments. Yeah, great halftime adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
The second half of the season, guess what you do? You don't adjust at the second half.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep it vanilla. Keep it plain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you can't do that. Ain't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all just see Harold Henderson's?
No.
21 minutes ago.
What did he say?
He upheld the 6-game suspension.
Oh,
He upheld the 6-game suspension?
Check out Twitter.
Oh,
okay.
man. I don't, because I'm on live here. I can't see anything right now.
I got it. I'm gonna check out. We just got some breaking news. We got to see how breaking. Huh?
It's on your page.
Oh,
Okay.
it must be real. It's on my page. It's got to be real. Got to be real.
Bill Williams said Bill Callahan was a poor play calling the pregame plan.
He was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That's why you had to get rid of him.
Yeah. Can you bring do you have the news up?
I'm getting it up right now.
I kind of felt like something was going to end up coming out during this broadcast because I kept waiting. I'm like, man, it's going on 7 o'clock. And we still haven't heard anything.
Elliott cleared to play Sunday with lawsuit pending.
Is that what that is?
That's what this says right here. Elliott cleared to play.
But Shelley just said something different.
I know. Elliott appeals failure to is rough. It's tough to lose. Okay. State of the current.
It's on Twitter.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. It says Harold Henderson upholds the 6-game suspension.
Oh, okay.
So we're getting, I need that bad. So we're here.
It
Okay.
says,
So read it loud and clear.
Arbitrator Harold Henderson reportedly upheld the 6-game suspension for Dallas Cowboys running back Elliott on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
As first reported by ESPN. Elliott appealed the 6-game suspension on. We already know that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. According to an report of Info.com, the decision to uphold the ban came during the final 5 to 10 minutes of Tuesday's court hearing. Tom Plesser of NFL Network reported that the NFL elected to allow Elliott to play in Sunday's season opener against the New York Giants. Report added more details to come. Let's see.
So what I'm getting now is Harold Henderson. He has decided to He has upheld Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game suspension.
Right.
However,
The
Zeke will play Sunday night, and I'm assuming after week 1 his suspension starts.
Well, no. Remember, we still got the arbitrator. We still have to.
Okay, so we got that part.
Yeah, we got Harold Henderson's version. Now it's at the Sherman courts. So the Sherman courts could say, okay, we're going to take this a little bit further because the Cowboys are going to take this a lot further than what you think it is. He might.
So Harold Henderson has already said he just made up his mind. The 6-game suspension stands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it ain't over, is what you're saying,
right?
Because now we get to deal with Zeke's arbitrator.
Now you got to go to court. Now this thing is going to go to court.
Okay.
And so right now that's why they filed as soon as this the hearing was over with.
Mm-hmm.
They went ahead and filed. So now it's down to Sherman, and Sherman can say, you know what, we're gonna keep the restraining order to allow him to play until this whole situation gets worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So he can still play. He can still play game 2, 3, and 4
mm-hmm.
until this whole situation gets worked out.
Okay.
So this is the Tom Brady thing.
Okay.
But what happened was the NFL came back and said we're filing so the restraining order won't be upheld.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're down there fighting about this restraining order.
Okay.
Yeah. Twists and turns.
So it is confirmed he will play week 1. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
He will play week 1. Number 2, Zeke will play Sunday night against the Giants. That's we know it for sure, right?
Yes.
Okay. What we also know for sure is Harold Henderson has decided to uphold Zeke's 6-game suspension. Yes. He's not changing it.
Right.
Okay, so we know that part. Number 3, we still got the arbitration, the arbitrator for Zeke, and what that person's going to do relative to the courts.
That person is going to decide if the restraining order stands, and if the restraining order stands, then Zeke Elliott can continually play until the federal circuits get involved.
Okay.
Now we're bringing the federal court judges involved in this whole situation.
Okay. Now explain this to me, because I'm one that I don't too much know anything about the judicial system. If Roger Goodell and Harold Henderson have decided together that 6 games is appropriate for Ezekiel Elliott, what can the federal courts do?
Federal courts can overrule what they said.
Can overrule what Goodell said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they have the. That's what Tom Brady had to go. He went through. He said, "No, I don't believe this. We're going to federal court with this."
So in Tom Brady's situation, what ended up happening, to my recollection, he ended up playing the year he's supposed to be suspended, but the following year he missed the first 4 games.
Mm-hmm. He served 4 games.
Okay.
And he came back and won the Super Bowl.
Okay. Now, with what we just discussed, do you fault the Cowboys for being aggressive?
No, because let me put it this way right here. If I know beyond a shadow of doubt you didn't do it,
mm-hmm.
I got your back.
And that's in this case Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna fight with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't blame it at all. If I know beyond a shadow of doubt you didn't do it, if you know beyond a shadow of doubt you've been accused of something that you didn't do. Mm-hmm. And what do? You fight.
I'm a very simple.
You don't lay down. You fight.
I'm a very simple man. I when it comes to the justice, the criminal system, and the courts, I like to keep it short and sweet and straight to the point. And I'm saying that to say this: if authorities decided to drop the case and do nothing with Zeke,
right? Why are you guys picking it up?
Why is he being suspended for 6 games?
Exactly.
If I could see 1 game, fine, and I'm always going back to the St. Patty situation. Whether that's your girl or not, I think it's
inappropriate.
That it's inappropriate and it's unprofessional for you to flip off her shirt in public, whether she approves it or not. Because again, at the end of the day, you're still a professional athlete,
and you represent the NFL.
However, these other 5 games with
And no pay too.
my sticklers is the authorities decided to drop the case, and one of the people of the NFL, Kaya, whatever her name is, she sat down with Tiffany Thompson on multiple occasions and came with the conclusion, I don't think Ezekiel Elliott should be suspended.
Because there's nothing here.
Nobody else within the NFL spoke with Miss Thompson other than
it's she's on
other than Kia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call her Kia because KIA, but it might be Kia. But I'm just saying.
But this is
I got a problem with that.
Yeah,
Those are my 2 things. I'm just keeping it simple here. I'm not gonna get into the technicalities of it, but when I heard that story, and on top of the fact that authorities have decided we're not gonna pursue further in charge of Mr. Elliott, why are we at this point?
Right.
So I keep going back to Roger Goodell's past.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask the question: Is there any precedent for what we're doing right? What we got right now? The authorities dropped the case and everything, and he still have that ever happened?
Not to my recollection. I have to do some research on that.
I don't remember that. But this is why the NFL Players Association said they want to change the arbitrator because he's a friend of the leagues. Mm-hmm. You know, he's gonna do whatever Roger Goodell got going on. Him and Roger gonna be friends. So so now we've got him, and we got 4 other biased people. You know, who's friends of the league. They're gonna do whatever Roger Goodell says. You know, and they're gonna recommend. So what you got?
Milton said, let's see, Henderson. He said Henderson that call 5 minutes before court had let out. And then Milton said he's clear to play Sunday, but we'll have to wait until next Friday to get a court ruling about the injunction. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just
as stressful as this is for Elliott.
And then we heard rumors that Roger Goodell was getting ready to get a contract extension a week and a half ago. We haven't heard nothing since. And I think this situation here, depending on how this plays out, depending on if he gets that contract extension, that's just my opinion.
This is going to be a part of that, huh?
Yes, I really think so, because the man was already up under fire with these other suspensions.
Right.
With the Greg Hardists, the Ray Rices,
the Josh Browns.
The Josh Browns, the kicker for the Giants, who admitted beating his wife.
Right. That's Josh Brown.
Okay, who's the other Brown?
There's 2 Josh Browns.
Okay, it's 2 of them.
Yeah,
okay.
The Cowboys Josh Brown, too.
It's just a mess, man. I don't.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. For me personally, and before we go to another segment, based upon, and someone said this to me on Facebook not too long ago, and I'm a paraphrase here, but do you remember the first time you saw or knew who Tiffany Thompson was when she took a picture? Smiling at the camera, Zeke was laying down next to her.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
When I saw that picture, I said, "This is trouble. What are you doing this for?"
Yeah.
This is the time that allegedly was supposed to have been together. Nothing was going on when he was still at the Ohio State University on his way to being drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think during that week, she took a couple of pictures with Zeke. I think either he was asleep.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Or he was not aware of what Tiffany was doing. I'm like, you putting this man on social media and then you're her. I mean, what?
Yeah. She was plotting right then and there.
I saw that right there. I said, this spells trouble right here. I could see it. And here we are, a year and a half later. Here we are.
Trouble.
In this same situation.
And the fact that she said, "I'm going to ruin your career." I mean, are we not?
Was that by text message?
No. She actually said it.
Okay.
And there were several witnesses that heard her say that. You know, it was like 4, 5, or 6 of them that heard her say, "Yes, she uttered, I'm going to ruin your career."
Okay. So let me ask you this: we just heard that Henderson will uphold the suspension. Your thoughts on that?
I'm still trying to understand on what basis are you upholding that suspension? with everything that's come out right now, what is your basis for saying yes, the suspension needs to happen?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. I want to see because he's got to write a 3,000 word document on where he comes from, where he get his findings from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I want to see where your findings are. Why do you still feel like this suspension should be upheld?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we look for next.
Right.
Is what is it that you're saying? Are you saying, well, based off of, you know, he told us that he did drugs when he was in college, and he told us that he liked to party. Is that why you're holding suspension? Because you can't do that. You can't do anything to him before he gets in the NFL because he's not property of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why Joey Mixon is still in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't, if he's not property of the NFL, there's nothing you can really do about him in his college days.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted by the NFL. From that point on, then he becomes property of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, well, on the 16th he was property of the NFL, but you know he did some stuff before, you know, and that's, so he could have incriminated himself, but no, he's telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I want to see what the findings are to say yes, the suspension should be upheld.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then I kind of read into that paperwork of the testimony that Tiffany Thompson in one way or another tried to involve Joey Bosa in this mess. Joey Bosa was Zeke's team roommate at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's who Alvarez Jackson is. They was 3 years.
Yeah, they were. That's right. I keep forgetting him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know, man.
And then maybe you're not looking at other outside influences that makes you have your reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I want to see what else comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just interested to see what else comes out.
All right.
Let's do this right here. Let's take a quick. You know what? Let's keep moving.
You want to keep moving?
Yeah. Let's keep moving. Yeah.
Let's roll.
Let's keep moving.
I wonder what came to that conclusion.
Just keep moving.
Yeah.
Because when we do our pick segments,
Mm-hmm.
you know, our timing, we only got we
got what, 50 minutes, 45 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when you want to do your pick segment?
Yeah. Let's talk about our wild cards.
Do we have NFL music? That's all I need to know.
Yes, we do.
You know I'm gonna ask you about that.
Yes, we do. We do
I was
have.
just getting ready to say that. I was like, where the music at?
Yeah, we got NFL music.
I'm listening
Okay.
downstairs.
So
What you got?
Rap to the fans while I get this music up.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to the fans while.
What you want me to say? Anyway, so
Give us some entertainment. No.
now you know I'm not an entertainment reporter. No, seriously, we're
What
about
you
to go
wearing
ahead
to the
and
white
get it.
party? What are you wearing to the white party?
Oh, we got the Thursday night with Dante with the all-white party. Now, I missed last year's party. I didn't want to miss last year, but we had something else to do. But
Right.
me and the wife will be there this year, and I'm gonna wear. It's gonna be short sleeve. It'll be collar, more so linen with linen slash with the white silk socks and white.
Ooh,
dress
white
shoes.
silk
Yeah.
socks.
Yeah,
Get
I
out
gotta
of here.
do it. Now you know how I roll. Come on.
Okay. I can't wait to see.
So we're about to go ahead and get into NFL picks for the first time this year. I'm excited about that. Last year, let everybody know, last year I could not determine a winner because we kind of got lost into that shuffle. But from what I understood from last year after I did research, Octavia Whitlow, she was ahead of the pack, as she always had been. More props to Tavia.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Lady T.
we're going to go ahead and get into the pick segment right now. What you got to say?
It was an NFL conspiracy.
That is not a conspiracy.
Tavia worked for the NFL, and she wanted me suspended.
You asked us on to pick the team based on her favorite colors. She still won.
She wanted me to be suspended, so she worked for the NFL. Her and Goodell got together, and Henderson came in, and next thing you know, I'm just assed out.
Mercy.
All right.
All right, so here's how we normally start this. Okay, we're gonna do our picks after this, but I want to see who you have for NFC. Your
That's why I want you to somehow. Can you bring up the NFL divisions? NFC West, AFC West, NFC North, South.
Sure.
Are you able to do that?
Sure.
Okay, and then I'll give you my answers. I got a couple of them. I need to see the teams in that respective division to make that decision
Sure, not a problem at all.
myself.
Are you going to do that online thing that you did last
There
year?
we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're going to invite
Yeah, I
people?
like it.
And don't forget about the Masters comments now. Don't get lost in that.
I won't. Okay. So, the AFC East.
Is that the division you want to start?
Just start with there. You got New England, Miami, the Jets, and Buffalo.
Okay, so in the AFC East, who was my division winner? I'm going to tell you this. In the last 14 years, the New England Patriots have won the AFC East. 12 of the 14 years.
Right.
New England has won the AFC East, and this year would not be any
I would
different.
say the same thing. I don't see anybody
Tom
challenging.
Brady is not slowing down. I do believe he will retire at 45. The Patriots all the way in the AFC East. No question about it.
AFC North,
The AFC
where
North.
you have Baltimore Ravens,
Mhm.
Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Cleveland Browns.
Baltimore Colts, Steelers, and Browns.
No, Baltimore Bengals,
No,
Steelers, and Browns.
the Colts,
Baltimore.
Steelers, Browns.
No. Baltimore Ravens.
All the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the old Baltimore Colts. So the Ravens, the Colts, the Steelers, and the Browns.
Yes.
Who won the AFC South?
That's the AFC North.
The North. The Ravens, Steelers, Colts, and Browns. We're going to eliminate the Browns.
Right.
We're going to eliminate the Colts.
You mean
I think-
the Ravens? Baltimore Ravens.
I keep saying the Colts.
Yeah, you keep saying Colts.
Okay, let me start this over. The Ravens, the Steelers,
Browns,
Browns,
and Bengals.
and the Bengals.
The Bungles.
This is the AFC North.
Yes. The Bungles.
Pittsburgh.
All right.
AFC North, right?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
I got Pittsburgh too.
Oh, you got Pittsburgh too?
Yep.
Who you got in the AFC East?
I got New England.
Okay, let's keep rolling.
Yeah. Okay, so the AFC South, you got the Texans, the Jaguars, the Colts, and Tennessee.
Well, the NFL music. Houston, Jacksonville, the Colts, and the Titans. This is tough. Who's going to win the AFC South? Houston, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, or Tennessee? Oh, boy. I'm going Titans.
Oh, Tennessee.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
really like that team. Marcus Mariota, DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry,
Yeah, I like that.
Corey Davis, Rashard Matthews. I like that team.
I'm going Houston.
Now, the reason I'm going with Tennessee, they have a similar style to the Dallas Cowboys.
Right, they do run first.
There were one or two teams last year that had more run plays for a whole season than pass plays.
I agree. And
That's a formula to success for me.
I agree. I'm going Houston because I like Houston's defense.
Well, I can't argue that. And then they got better at quarterback.
Yeah,
Deshaun
got lots
Watson.
better at
Well, I
quarterback.
think it's going to be he's going to be the real deal.
Yeah.
I seen him play in the preseason. I seen what I liked out of him. I'm going to go with Titans, with Houston a close second.
All right. Okay, so the AFC West.
The AFC West consists of what team?
Kansas City Chiefs,
Mhm.
Denver Broncos, Oakland Raiders, Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay, Martez is saying, Martez AFC East. He says no point in asking about that division.
Nah.
Pittsburgh, that's his division winner. And the one we just went over, he's going for the Titans as well. And he's saying, as far as your comment about Houston winning the division, he still believes, even with the Deshaun factor Watson, they still don't have a quarterback.
Oh, so he don't think
I guess he's not giving Deshaun Watson any credit.
okay.
Oh, I see. He said Watson is not ready yet.
I don't know. We didn't think.
Now we said that about Dak Prescott.
Prescott wasn't ready yet, so I'm off the not ready bandwagon.
I kept warning people last year about Dak Prescott. No one would listen to me.
I'm off the not ready bandwagon.
So the AFC West, Martez is doing the Chiefs.
Ooh.
Let me tell you something. Tyreek Hill,
I don't know. I like Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback.
he's a backup right now.
I know, but who's there? Alex Smith.
Yeah. And I think, speaking of quarterbacks that's not ready, I think Patrick Mahomes has potential. I've seen him in the
Yeah,
preseason.
he's got a lot of potential.
He has a lot of potential. I think the only thing he really needs to work on is his footwork.
Yeah.
He has happy feet.
But he can throw on the run like
Man, he
nobody.
got a powerful
arm. Yes. All you can just mature that one. But he had to from Texas Tech.
Yeah.
That's all they did was
That's a very rated offense right there.
Yeah. All right.
So,
who you got?
AFC West, I got Oakland.
Yeah, I got Oakland too. Oakland's gonna be nice this year.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch, in addition to what they had last year.
Oakland's gonna be nice this year.
And
Okay.
who would have said how far the Raiders went if Derek Carr stayed healthy?
Right.
So,
Give me a wild card.
wild cards. I'm going to say my AFC wild cards will be. Who's in the AFC North?
AFC North is Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns.
Bengals, Steelers, and Browns.
Uh,
Browns ain't going nowhere.
no.
I'm going to say, oh my goodness, the AFC East is jacked. I'm going to go ahead and say Kansas City and Baltimore.
All right. My wild cards are Kansas City and Tennessee.
He's not giving Tennessee a chance to win the South, aren't you?
No. I'm saying Houston's gonna win the South,
Oh, that's right.
but I'm going
Okay,
Tennessee
you
to the
want
wild
Tennessee
card.
some love. Okay. NFC,
All right, NFC.
which division you want to start?
Let's start with the West. From bottom up, San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, Cardinals, and the Rams.
Real quick, Martez Turner said Deshaun Watson does not have the line or the running game that Prescott has. That's a great point.
That's a good point.
Now that
But
he has Lamar Miller.
Here's the deal, though. They didn't have that last year, and Houston did what they did. Houston went to the playoffs last
They
year.
pushed New England in that AFC division
Exactly.
round.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, Houston is. Don't be surprised. I'm not a Houston fan either.
Mark, I can't see his wild cards. Okay, Oakland and the Bengals. Those AFC wild cards.
You don't have Bengals ain't going nowhere.
Okay, NFC.
NFC West.
West. Who's in the NFC West?
49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals, and the Rams.
Cardinals and
The Rams.
The Rams.
Yep. You can always mark off the Rams.
But I'm gonna tell you something. The LA Rams again is gonna give the NFC West
They
fits.
always do.
Their defense, and now they got Wade Phillips,
Okay.
who led the number one defense for the Broncos the past 2 years.
Yeah, they always do. The problem is their offense don't
Their
stand
offense
for the
stinks.
jack.
Now they got a new offensive mind who they got from the Washington Redskins, Sean McVay, and now he's the head coach of the Rams. I expect them to be better offensively. They still got Tom Gurley.
Yeah,
But I don't think they're strong enough to still make
I'm
the
gonna say they
playoffs.
still
But they're
got-
gonna give the NFC West fits. That's just my opinion.
To me, you got two teams in this division.
So NFC West, who's going to win the division? Martez says Seattle. I'm gonna say
I'm
Seattle.
saying the same thing too. To me, you got two teams: Seattle or
And Carson Palmer is still playing.
Yeah,
And he still got his weapons. He still got David Johnson. He still got Larry Fitzgerald. Just keep that team in
I
mind.
got you. Okay. NFC South.
Who's your NFC West?
Oh, I got Seattle.
Okay. What's the next division?
NFC South. I've got
NFC
Buccaneers.
South?
Yeah, the Buccaneers, Saints, Panthers, and Falcons.
Oh, the Bucks, Saints,
Panthers and Falcons.
Panthers, and
Carolina
Falcons.
and the Falcons. Yeah.
This is tough.
Between who?
Carolina, as long as they have Cam Newton at quarterback, they are a threat to. They still got Ronald Rivera. They still got the defensive mind.
And Ed
They
McCaffrey.
still got, with the addition of Christian McCaffrey, who I think is going to be solid.
They're gonna give Atlanta the
But
run.
you can't write off Carolina here.
But Atlanta is. I mean.
Now,
besides
Atlanta
that
had,
meltdown.
now, wait a minute. Atlanta, didn't they lose their OC and DC?
Yeah, I think so.
I think the dynamic of that team may have changed based upon that. And then that meltdown, last year's Super Bowl, how much does that play into their psyche?
You think You think it's like the Seattle meltdown?
Yes.
Okay, so
You
you
lost a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, NFC South, you know what? God, the Bucks are they're looking good, man.
They're on the edge. The problem is the Bucks still got to go through Carolina and Atlanta.
That's the problem. I say that Jameis Winston is beginning to be the real deal. I expect them to have a big year this year.
But
New Orleans,
they got to pick up their running game.
their defense is still sorry.
Their offense gonna be nice.
You know what? I'm gonna pick Carolina.
Okay,
to win the South.
I got Atlanta.
You still got Matt Ryan and the Falcons, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Where you going next?
NFC North.
The NFC North, Green Bay, Minnesota.
Yeah. Lions and Bears.
Oh, jeez. The Lions and the Bears.
It's only 2 teams.
I'm not going for Chicago.
Nah.
Detroit just has a
Right.
top-paid quarterback. Green Bay and Minnesota.
This is a 2-team division.
Minnesota still has a solid defense. I'm still going Green Bay.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing. I'm going
Green Bay.
Yeah.
I'm going Green Bay. Martez picked Atlanta, the Packers. He said, "Don't do it to the Bucks. The Bucks are fools gold."
Yeah. no running game either.
And they got Doug Martin.
Yeah, but
If he stays healthy.
I know he's slipping down though.
Okay.
I'm going Green Bay.
Hi, Miss Walker. She says Green Bay gonna win the NFC South.
You're right.
Miss Walker said the Bucks are sorry.
He's right. Who's going?
Well, I mean, they added Deshaun Jackson to go along with Mike Evans. You got Jameis Winston at quarterback. You got Doug Martin. I'm not gonna go far saying the Bucks are fools. Though they got talent.
But the Bucks have had talent. They had some talent for quite some time. They just haven't put it together.
They cashed it in.
Right.
Okay, I'll leave it alone.
Okay, NFC North. NFC East.
Okay, so I got Green Bay winning NFC North. You got Green Bay.
Green Bay. Yeah.
So the NFC East, the Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, and the Redskins. In this division here,
It's a 2-team
do
division.
you think it's a 2-team division?
Yep. It's a 2-team division. I'm
struggling between the Giants and Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie.
I am too. I don't see Washington or Philadelphia making a push for that division.
To me, the NFC East, the Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, and Redskins, to me, is not the toughest but the trickiest because the team that you don't think will have won the division will step up in the latter weeks of the season.
Well, see, the thing about
Philadelphia started out strong, but they fell off in the end.
Yep. Washington kind of teetered around. The thing about this division, though, is that
Martez turned the Dallas Cowboys all the way.
Okay. Think about this division: Philadelphia, Redskins, and the Giants upgraded their receiving core.
Right. The Redskins got
Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor, who I think is going to be a beast.
He is.
That's Kirk Cousins' main receiver.
Yeah. The Giants got Brandon Marshall.
Man.
And in Philadelphia, you got
Alshon Jeffrey. That's what I'm saying. This division to me is tricky. Now, go ahead.
I think that the Cowboys, their running game, is what's going to keep these defenses at bay.
Now, my question is, in trying to determine who's going to win the NFC East, if Ezekiel Elliott is playing Week 1, but still, if he's suspended 6 games, would it alter your decision based on based on the decision you made?
Depends on what they do Week 1. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
Okay.
Because Week 2 you got Denver.
Okay.
All right, which is not that
Week 1 and 2 is the Giants and the Broncos, and that's at Denver.
Right. So he plays against the Giants. I think they win that game. They got Denver. They don't need Ezekiel Elliott to beat Denver because Denver's not the defense it used to be. Then they got Phoenix. Then the Rams, then Green Bay. I think they lose Green Bay. They think they beat the Rams and Phoenix. I think they still go through this whole thing before. I've got them at 4-1 at the coming up to the bye. 5-1 at the bye week.
Mrs. Walker said Eagles are good, but the Cowboys is all the way with the flaws and all. So even with or without the Zeke suspension, it's the Cowboys all the way.
I think their running game is good, and because they that front line, I think it starts with that front line. I'm gonna say Cowboys.
This is my biggest question. How does the Dallas Cowboys respond to the 2 losses they suffered against the Giants last year? when the Giants defense frustrated Dak Prescott, the Giants have had time to study him, but so has Dak Prescott.
Exactly. And that
Can Dak Prescott bounce back from those 2 games last year
I think he can, and I'm gonna tell you why.
and do his thing?
I'm gonna tell you why I think he can.
Okay.
Remember the first game he played against the Giants, which was the first game of the season.
2019.
Yeah, you just threw him in there, so he didn't have
That's his
time.
first NFL game.
Yeah, he didn't have time to do it, and they almost won that game.
Mhm.
The second time they played, he wasn't doing audibles. He wasn't changing up the plays at all. He started changing the plays during the end of the season, where he was so the Giants hadn't seen that portion of him switching up plays and everything,
Uh-huh.
and him being able to read their defense.
Right.
You know, the Giants, if he can read their defense, and I'm not going to study him, but you don't study tendencies that you've seen from him.
Mhm.
I can go back and study the Giants and how their defense is played. You know, for not just from last year, I can go back in a couple of years,
Mhm.
and watch how their defense is played.
Mhm.
So as I'm doing that, then all I'm going to do is say, okay, they have a tendency here, they have a tendency there.
Mhm.
You know, and if I've learned from my mistakes, you know, then I can overcome those mistakes.
Mhm.
It's harder for a team to overcome a team mistake than it is a person to overcome his own mistake.
Okay.
Because I can't overturn what this guy may or may not get.
Okay, so I got circled here the Cowboys winning the division, but I'm gonna say barely winning the division.
I got him.
It's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah, I got him winning the division too.
Okay, who's your wild cards?
Wild cards.
So right now the NFC East, I have Dallas, you have Dallas.
Right.
NFC West, you have Seattle coming out that division, so do you. Right?
Right.
NFC South, I have Carolina, you have the Falcons.
I got Atlanta. Yeah.
NFC North, you have the Packers, and so do you.
Right.
Who has the wild cards?
Wild card, Minnesota, and the Giants.
I have the Giants and Bucks.
you gonna ride that buck thing all the way to.
The Bucks are my surprise team this year. I think that's a team that's gonna sneak up on a lot of people. A lot of people tell me the Bulls that's fool's gold, and they may be.
You might be another Jacksonville. This might be another Jacksonville pick.
No, they're not that sorry.
Gotta hear this the whole year.
All right, you gotta do pick
All right,
segment.
go ahead. Let's go to do pick segment.
Okay, week 1, pick segment. So week 1 is Thursday night's game. Kansas City at New England. Cedric,
I'm going New England.
you going New England?
Yeah.
I got New England. All right, next game, the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Cedric,
Oh, see, I don't like both of those teams. But Jets are just sorry. I'm going.
the
Buffalo.
starting quarterback for the Jets is
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown
I'm going Buffalo.
versus Tyrod Taylor.
And they say he's cleared.
He's cleared.
protocol. I'm going Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo too. Next game, Cedric, Atlanta at Chicago.
Atlanta.
Atlanta, I got Atlanta as well. Baltimore at Cincinnati, bench warmer.
See, I think this is when Cincinnati just really starts falling off. I'm gonna go Baltimore. they can't consistently make it to the playoffs and get it at one and done. I'm going Baltimore.
I got Baltimore too. Next one,
Yeah, Marvin Lewis might be losing his job this year.
Pittsburgh at Cleveland.
So that's easy. Pittsburgh.
I got Pittsburgh too. Arizona at Detroit.
I'm gonna go Arizona.
I had Arizona too. Jacksonville at Houston. In Houston,
Houston.
I had Houston too. Oakland at Tennessee, bench warmer.
Ooh, this is a preview of playoffs. I'm gonna go Oakland.
Derek Carr versus Marcus Mariota.
I'm gonna go Oakland.
I went with Tennessee and DeMarco Murray.
And you forget Marshawn Lynch. But I don't think Lynch is gonna be as good as he was when he left. But
Martez got Buffalo, Atlanta, and Cincinnati. Okay. So you went with Tennessee. You went with Oakland. I went with Tennessee.
right.
Philadelphia at Washington.
Ooh, this is a hard game to call.
All them NFC East games
Yeah.
are always tough to choose.
And it's at Washington, isn't it?
It is at Washington, right?
I'm gonna go Washington because of Kirk Cousins.
Okay. I got Washington too. Martez got Houston, Detroit, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. Okay. Bench warmer. The Colts at Rams.
Ooh, another lazy game. Okay, I'm gonna take your side and go to Rams.
Okay.
Because the coach, all they got is Andrew Luck, and they ain't gonna have.
They got Scott Tolzien at quarterback. And they just signed, I think, Jacoby Brissett. They traded for him.
Who's that?
The backup for Tom Brady. Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Right.
So the
The
coach
coach has him now.
Okay, well, I mean, you still ain't that ain't impressive.
So you're going with the Rams?
Yes.
Okay. Here's a doozy. Seattle at Green Bay.
Ooh, Green Bay always starts off slow. And I don't know, for some reason they start off slow and they pick it up. I'm going Seattle.
I'm going Seattle. I went with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers in this one here. All right. Next game, Carolina and Cam Newton at San Francisco and Brian Hoyer.
Cam. Oh, Cam.
Okay. New Orleans and Minnesota, bench warmer. Saints at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
You going Minnesota?
Yeah.
I went with Minnesota as well. The previous game, Carolina. Martez picked Eagles, Titans, Houston, and the Lions. Okay. Colts and Rams to end in tie. He putting the Colts and Rams to end in the tie. We had 2 ties.
Oh, yeah.
We had 2
I would
tie
say
games last year.
Cincinnati's going to end in the top. Okay, I got the Colts too.
Okay. The Chargers at Broncos.
Oh. I'm going
AFC West battle.
Yeah, I'm going Denver.
I went with the Chargers in this one. In the Sunday night football game, the Giants at the Cowboys.
I'm going to go Dallas.
With Ezekiel Elliott.
I'm going to go Dallas.
I'm going Cowboys.
Uh-huh.
I went with the Cowboys as well.
All right.
All right, so our only games we beg to differ would be, Martez, or one of the games was Carolina at San Francisco. He chose the 49ers. Gee whiz. Okay. Don't leave that one alone.
Yeah, I know. I only want to ask you what you're thinking. I don't know. Him and Harold Henderson been hanging out. What was you thinking?
The only differences we had the Oakland, Tennessee game and the Seattle Green Bay game and the Charger Bronco game.
Okay. And you went Dallas with me too, huh?
Yeah.
Ah.
I was going to pick Dallas more this year. And I know a lot of people may hate me for saying this.
Yeah, I already hate you.
I'm not saying Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Tony Romo, but when he took Romo's job, I think the added element to this offense is his ability to run when he has to, and to do the read option.
No, I think his added ability is no mistakes.
Dak Prescott and Zeke, they ran that read option to perfection last year. When they had to use it, they didn't use it all the time.
Yeah.
Like Cam would with Carolina. But when Prescott had to run the read option play, he perfected it. You couldn't do that with Tony Romo.
I'm gonna tell you what you need to watch out
The
for.
added element to that offense, I think, makes the Cowboys that much better.
I'm gonna tell you what you need to watch out for. This offense actually runs like a machine. But I'm gonna tell you, watch out for if you remember the last couple of games during the season,
Mm-hmm.
not the Philadelphia game because didn't nobody play the Philadelphia game, but those other games, when he was audibly out of those plays, when he was calling different types of audibles,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like, okay, how did he know that was going to be so wide open?
Right.
You know, I think his ability not to make a lot of mistakes, and his humbleness, and number one, he's got the legs.
Dak Prescott threw for 23 touchdowns, threw for only
4 interceptions.
He started 16 games last year, bench warmer, and threw 4 picks total. He had 3 fumbles. He did fumble a little bit.
You're going to fumble. You get blindsided.
But for you to throw 4 picks and you started all 16 games the whole year as a rookie.
Right. And then this year they're opening up the offense for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he was playing on limited offensive setups.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're opening up the offense for him, so he's able to do a lot more.
Right.
And he would be considered for me a student of the game.
Right.
Because he'll study. Okay, I see these things. That's why I think he's going to be. They may have a worse record.
Right.
But he's going to be a better quarterback.
Right.
Because he'll know where to get out. I think his biggest faults last year was when they played against Minnesota. I don't even want to say the Giants because Dallas and Giants just go back and forth all the time.
Right.
But Minnesota and Baltimore, those two defenses really brought it to them.
Right.
I mean, really brought it to them. Even the Pittsburgh defense brought it to him. You know, but he was able to.
He figured it out.
Yeah, he was able to overcome them.
He figured it out.
He didn't allow them being behind to dictate what's his next move.
And let's not forget, last year's schedule, for him being a rookie, half the schedule, or at least a fourth of it, was top-notch defenses. Playing the Giants twice.
Right.
The Vikings.
Right.
Don't forget the Ravens.
The Ravens, yep. Baltimore, yeah. I told you, Baltimore, their defense almost beat him up.
I'm telling you, I think he got his experience. He grew up real quick in his first year.
He did.
And now I think people are saying, well, are we going to see a sophomore slump? And I want you to comment on that. But with me, I think he's going to even be better than he was last year. Statistically speaking, he may not be. But I think with him having 1 year up on his belt, I think you'll see a lot more down the field passes. And the chemistry he gained later in the season with Dez Bryant last year is going to help him this year.
I was going to talk about that too. Their chemistry now, you got a healthy Dez Bryant, and you got to watch Dez Bryant too this year. You got a healthy Dez Bryant who's fully healthy. This is the first time he's actually went through the whole training camp without being injured. You know, last year he was injured. So you got a healthy Dez Bryant. You still got your go-to Cole Beasley. You still got Jason Witten. You know, now you have, and I want to see Rico Gathers a little bit more. You know, and Terrence Williams, he still disappears, but still though. you got a backfield.
You don't think he's going to improve?
No.
Terrence Williams?
No.
He is who he is.
He is who he is.
Okay.
You know, he'll catch dramatic play catches every once in a while, but nah. You know, I mean, but the only thing we need to really look out for is let's make sure that offensive line stays intact.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
They
right.
lost some key players on their offensive line.
Doug Free
and Ron Leary.
I'm worried about this fight actually.
I don't know,
Chaz Green he stays hurt a lot. And then you have I think his name Jonathan Cooper.
Jonathan Cooper.
I don't know too much about him, but isn't that the Dak Prescott's blind side?
No. Tyron Smith is.
Oh, that's his blind side. Okay.
And I think they're moving Lil Collins over there too.
Yeah, that position is the only one I'm worried about. The other 4 and 5.
Yeah. I think their offense is going to be good. I just think I'm afraid of their defense.
What about the defense?
I'm afraid of the Cowboys. I mean, their secondary has been depleted.
No,
I mean, you lose J.J. Wilcox, you lose Brandon Church, Brandon Carr, you lose Maurice Claiborne,
and Church.
Yeah, and Barry Church. Yeah. You lost a lot of your secondary. Only ones you have back there, you got Byron Jones, who's the only one who started last year. That's the only safety person.
Well, some people say it was good that they went on about their way because you got the max out of them.
Yeah.
You got what's good out of them. They weren't going to improve. They were who they were.
But you still had some solid, like Brandon Carr was a solid, but he did get burnt a lot. He started getting burnt a lot. Yeah. I want to see what
I'm not too butthurt about Brandon Carr going, and he got a bigger contract, but still wasn't going to pay him that kind of money.
I want to see what
J.J. Wilcox got released by the Bucks yesterday.
Yeah, I know. So we knew what we was talking about, huh?
Yeah.
I want to see what Anthony Brown does.
Who I think is an up and coming corner who showed out last year when he had to. When Mo Claiborne was injured, Anthony Brown, as a rookie, stepped up.
Yeah.
And he delivered the goods last year. So he's already being talked about nationwide as a cornerback who has potential to be solid. So yeah, Anthony Brown, Orlando Scandrick.
And then I want to see this Chidozie Awuzie.
Chidube Awuzie.
Yeah. I want to see what they're saying he's going to be.
I haven't seen him really
because he's been hurt.
He's been hurt. Yeah.
And so you got who are we?
Xavier Woods. That's a sleeper.
Yeah. And
keep his name
are we
on the radar.
Are we relying on who's the safety? Who's that safety back there? Not
Jeff Heath.
Yeah, are we relying on him?
He is who he is. He came up in spots last year when no one else was thinking about him. He came up with those 2 huge picks against the Bucks last year.
So who we got? We have to rely on No, okay, so we talked about the defensive backfield.
It's going to be by committee, and that's the name of Ron Marinella's game. It's really
His name-
defense by committee.
His game is smoke and mirrors.
His defense was 11th overall last year.
I know, but how did you do that smoke and mirrors? I don't understand how you do that smoke and mirrors. And look how many defensive linemen we got.
Rotating,
No,
all
no, no.
rotating.
Look how many defensive linemen we got suspended.
Suspended. Can you name them?
Let's see, David Irvin,
David Irvin, Randall Gregory.
Who else? Who else is there?
DeMarcus Lawrence is clean.
I think so. I think he is clean. But there's who's the other DeMarcus?
Not sure on that one.
See,
Not sure on that one.
Yeah, you got a lot of them suspended, and then Damian Wilson.
Oh, Nolan Carroll.
And then, Nolan Carroll, and then
Nolan Carroll.
Dimitri Moore.
Demetri Moore. And then you have Damian Wilson.
Damian Wilson, yeah.
That's 5 players right off the top.
Right.
David Irvin, Randall Gregory, Nolan Carroll, Demetri Moore, and Damian Wilson.
And Rhonda McClain.
I mean, really?
Is he
Are we
even-
mentioning McClain now?
I know. Is he on?
Is he even on the
He
team?
has been cut officially, right?
I don't know. I had to check that. But
I mean,
I wasn't thinking about Malone McClain, but I don't think he. I don't know.
I don't know if he's worth
I'm not
mentioning,
saying
right?
anything about that. I had to find out. I know he's suspended. He has a
Yeah,
1 year
yeah.
suspension at least.
That same one.
He may be still on the team, come to think about, because of the 1 year suspension.
Same with
I
Randy.
don't recall him releasing him outright though.
I mean, you talking about him? We mentioned Randy Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still? I mean, why is he still there?
No, don't get me to answer that question.
You know, and then so then you got our linebackers. I mean, you got Sean Lee, you got Jalen.
Demontre Moore.
Demontre Moore,
You
yeah.
got me saying Demetrius. Demontre Moore.
Demontre Moore, yeah.
Yeah.
He's suspended. And then you got so you got.
Oh, wait a minute. He said Jeff Heath is Jeff Heath went to the Jaguars?
No, he's there. I think he's still here.
No, I didn't.
Let's check.
I don't think Jeff Heath is with the Jaguars.
I don't think so.
When I went to the Cowboys luncheon, I recall seeing him there.
Jeffrey, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you can double check on that. I don't think. I know Barry Church went to.
Yeah, Church went to Jacksonville. Yeah, Church went to Jacksonville.
I don't think.
He had the dumb nerve to say that they got a better team than the Cowboys.
What are your thoughts on that? Now he went over there, evaluated the players, the talent, and then he turned around and said that.
Okay, so let me see.
Now let's keep in mind he said this later on in the year after he was signed by the Jaguars.
Yeah, he said that when he was signed by the Jaguars. But let me say this right here. I'm sorry. I go. No, he's still with the Cowboys. Jeff Heath's still with the Cowboys.
Jeff Heath is still with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can go position by position. Who do you want, Dez Bryant or who's their receiver
For who?
for Jacksonville?
Allen Robinson?
Yeah, who would you want?
I can't say because I know Allen Robinson is good, but I haven't seen him play that much. Well, other than that, I'm gonna say Dez Bryant all the way.
Dez Bryant, yeah. Now Terrence Williams is another situation. Okay, but as far as running backs,
Now, wait a minute. Now, the receivers, the Jaguars' overall receivers versus the Cowboys' receivers. Who would you say has the better receiving core?
okay, so they got Allen Robinson, Marquise Lee.
Allen Hurns.
Allen Hurns is third string.
He is now.
Okay.
Okay. Who's the opposite receiver? Who's the number 2 receiver?
The number 2 is Marquise Lee.
So because Allen Hurns was number 2 last year.
Not anymore.
Okay.
And then Keelan Cole and Dayton Westbrook.
And of course we had Dez Bryant,
Yeah.
Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley, Bryce Butler.
Bryce Butler, yeah, who's nice. I'm taking my sets of receivers.
And then we got the addition of Ron Switzer, who I haven't seen play, but I've been hearing a lot of positive reviews out.
And Noah Brown. Big old boy.
He's nice.
I'm taking my sets of receivers.
I mean, I like the Cowboys receivers.
Running backs. Leonard Fournette, Chris Ivey, T.J. Yeldon, Corey Grant.
That's some solid running backs.
Running backs. Ezekiel Elliott, Dan McFadden,
Alfred
Morris, Rod Smith.
He said T.J. Yeldon, Leonard Fournette, and who?
Chris Ivey. Chris Ivory.
Chris Ivory, who was solid as well.
That was.
I'm
long
still
time
saying
ago. I'm saying Cowboys running back.
I'm still saying Cowboys, but that's a solid group of running
That's a solid
backs.
group.
Trust me, that's solid.
But okay, so you,
But I still
you can't sleep on
I-
the Cowboys offensive line.
But
no?
I still think McFadden and Alfred
Is a better-
Zeke is better than that group.
You
I
can't-
agree with
You
that.
can't sleep on the Cowboys offensive line.
No, we're not even discuss that.
There's no discussion. Tight ends. I mean, all I got to do is say Jason Whitman, and it's done deal.
Who's tight end for the Jaguars?
Their tight end is Mercedes Lewis.
No, Jason Wood,
Right.
the Cowboys.
Yeah. So on offense, we've decided that Dallas got the best set of offense.
Okay.
So you go defense. Now I can give you this right here on defense. Just
Okay.
Miles Jack, Jalen Ramsey, Barrett Church is put in as a starter. Sean Gibson, AJ Boyd, Telvin Smith, Malik Jackson.
Malik Jackson is good. He's
Yeah.
a former Bronco.
Yeah, Kalis Campbell,
Yeah.
Yankee Noibi.
Yeah.
I mean, they may have a better defense, but you can't say we got that Jacksonville has better talent than the Cowboys overall.
Overall,
Yeah, you can't say that.
to me personally, I don't think so.
You can't say that.
I
I
don't
just
think
think
so.
I just think that's Barry Church's way of
Standing back
embracing
at the
himself.
Cowboys.
Yeah, embrace himself with the team he's in.
Right.
Because you can't be better than still going 3 and whatever.
Right.
I mean, we
I agree.
didn't even say anything about the quarterbacks.
I mean, really.
Blake Bortles was
Chad
saying-
Henne and Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott and
Who was the back? Oh,
Yeah,
man,
Cooper Rush and
let's
Kellen
even
Moore.
talk about that too real quick. Why did they bring back Kellen Moore?
they had a plan in place. And from what I understood from the plan, they released Kellen Moore and then was going to determine what they're going to do with number 80,
Rico Gathers.
Rico Gathers. They put him on IR. Had they not had put him on IR, I don't think we would have got him back. But because they did, they turned around and got re-signed Kellen Moore back. It was stipulation behind why they did what they did in the first place.
So
So now they decided to put Rico on IR. They decided, okay, that's another roster spot open. We go and get Kellen Moore back. So there is a likelihood that the Dallas Cowboys are going to carry 3 quarterbacks into the season.
yeah, but you don't. But see, here's the deal.
I'm not in favor of the 3 quarterback system because I think the third player on the 53 active man roster is a lot less active than any defensive player
Right.
on the other side of the football. When I think you can use that roster spot on the
For that
defensive
defense.
player, as many suspensions as we have, and as much
Go get defense.
that we stay hurt on the defensive end, we could have used that spot. To me, that's my opinion. We could use that third quarterback spot, that roster spot on the defensive player. That's just how I look at it.
And I agree with that, but you also remember they went out and picked up another cornerback from Cincinnati. They picked up a linebacker from Green Bay.
Right,
They went out and searched for defense.
right.
And I'm thinking, okay, I'm more adjusted or more attuned or more like the way they're doing now than they did before. Their recruiting is better. I mean, they're drafting better
The
players.
drafting is way better.
Yeah, and so they're bringing in better players. So I have to lend to their expertise as to what we see going on. I
Right.
would love to see Rico Gathers and not put on IR because now it's 8 games.
That dude there is.
Big,
You could
strong.
see beast mode in him.
He's got it in him.
He's got beast mode in him. So I won't be surprised if when Jason Witten decides to retire, they're gonna do anything they can to hang on to Rico Gathers, and then when Witten retires, I think Rico will be ready to take on that role.
Yeah, I would love to see him.
Man,
Now he's got to learn how to fly.
I think I've seen enough to know
That he's gonna be there.
we can grow him into almost like a Rob Gronkowski type of player.
Mhm.
This
Or-
dude is tall.
Or I go back to your boy from San Diego,
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah. If you can do an Antonio Gates or even a Tony Gonzalez,
that's an athletic tight end.
yes.
The dude,
And-
he got something in him. He got.
And he got hops too.
Yeah, I almost dare to say, just like I said about Dak Prescott, he got that it factor in him.
yeah. The Cowboys, overall, I got the overall record is 11-5.
I got them at 10-6 this year.
Yeah, I got them overall 11-5.
I think that again, the NFC East is going to be a bang division. They're going to beat each other up. You won't see too many teams with 12 or 13 wins. It's going to be
Yeah, it's
a lot
gonna
of
be-
10 and 6, 9 and 7. It's going to be a tangle web again to me.
I agree.
In
It's
the
gonna-
East.
yeah.
I think the last place team in the NFC East is going to probably be 2 games behind the leader of that
Probably
division.
7-9 or something.
That's
like that.
how tight I think things going to be.
But see, I don't know if I want to give Washington or Philadelphia that much credit. And the reason why is, yeah, you brought in Alshon Jefferson with Washington, and yeah, they got in
Terrell
Terrell Pryor for Washington.
But they lost to Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon.
Right. And Pierre Garçon was key for Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Then you drag Kirk Cousins' contract out like anybody's business. Then you want to
He
put him on another franchise.
getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, but do you believe that the team wants you if they keep dragging you out like that?
That's true.
You know, and then where's your running game?
I don't know who they got running
So
back there.
you lose Pierre Garçon and you put in Terrell Pryor. You know,
But you lost Deshaun
but you
Jackson
talk
too.
Deshaun Jackson also. So who do you have on the other side?
I think they got Jameson Crowder, Sean Doxson.
Some
Jameson Crowder is he's coming up.
Yeah, he's coming. He's not. It's not like, oh my God, here. Yeah, we're not rolling a double team over there for you.
Right.
You know, this ain't Dez Bryant.
My thing is, you still got Kirk Cousins back there who
He
would
throws
easily
for-
pass for over 4,000 yards on any given year.
Yeah.
As long as you got him back there throwing the ball around, you got a chance.
Well, the other thing is this right here. How's the offensive line gonna hold up?
And that's the problem. That's the Achilles heel. That Redskins offensive line.
And
I
their,
can
and,
say-
and their defense is not necessarily world beaters either.
No, they average to
I
me.
mean, you bring in Josh Norman thinking he's gonna be the end all be all.
Oh man, look out for some fights between him, Odell,
Yeah.
and him and Des Bryant.
I mean, but here's the deal though. He wasn't even that great last year.
No,
Well,
when he left Carolina,
It was done.
it was a done deal.
The way Odell Beckham did in that one run.
I think Josh Norman was a victim of the support he had around here in Carolina that made him look good
Right.
in pass coverage. But when he went to the Redskins, it
That
was
had
like,
support.
yeah,
So that's Washington Giants love the defense. I
yeah,
don't know what kind of offense they're gonna have.
the best defense in the division.
Yeah, but I
Their
don't know.
offense-
The offense is gonna be terrible.
The Giants offense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
different with
The
that.
only person you added was who's Brandon Wheaton. I mean, not
Marshall.
Brandon Marshall. You got Brandon Marshall and you got Odell Beckham, but Odell's hurt, which he'll still play. Brandon just came off of being hurt. He'll still play, but you have no running games, you know.
That's the Achilles heel. The run
Running
game
game, yeah.
is suspect, but
And your
I think the
offensive line-
weapons Eli has,
Offensive line is still suspect, too. Eli running for his life back there.
that defense gonna carry him.
The defense don't carry him. Yeah, and he has been carrying him. The defense will carry him, but how long can you last?
And Eli Manning, he's still prone to throw a unnecessary pick six.
Yeah.
No
reason
unnecessary
to-
interception. So you still got that in him. He's,
Right,
he's
right.
35 years old now. He's getting old. So I mean, we'll just have to see.
He can't do it like he did it, like his brother did.
Well, I'll give him 3 more years in the league. He'll call it
At
quits.
38.
Yeah,
You'd be right.
yeah.
All right, well, this has been 41 Sports Talk Radio on 41radio.net. I am the bench warmer, here with my partner in crime,
All right.
Professor.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna take it out with with our football music.
I didn't hear your 5 o'clock mix.
Huh?
Oh, we didn't even do nobody's break, but okay.
No, yeah. So next week,
All right, peace.
remember we'll be at the block tailgating this Sunday. We're broadcasting live, and then we'll talk about the games over there, and we're just gonna have a good time.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll see you when we see you, and it's been real.
All right. We'll see y'all next Tuesday.
All right.
All right.
The splash of the rain. Go face them and fight them. Be savage again.